Every year, Nigeria's National Assembly approves what are called zonal intervention projects. 100 billion naira set aside annually, and this has been going on since 1999 for roads, boreholes, hospitals, schools spread across all 36 states. In theory, based on needs, the 5 states that received the highest value zonal intervention project in 2025 are the same 5 states that are home to the 5 principal officers of the National Assembly. Ogun State, home of Olamilekan Solomon, chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriation, received 8.44 billion naira, the highest in the country. Each year's that committee. Kano State, home of Jubril Barau, Deputy Senate President, received 6.46 billion naira. Akwa Ibom State, home of Godswill Akpabio, Senate President, received 5.34 billion naira. Abia State, home of Benjamin Kalu, Deputy Speaker, received 4.50 million naira. Kaduna State, home of Tajuddin Abbas, Speaker of the House, received 4.27 billion naira. 5 names, 5 states, 5 offices, all at the top of the allocation list. This is not a one-year coincidence. In 2025, the same 5 states topped the same list in almost the same order. Getting the money is one story. What happens to it once it lands is another. Here is what happened, let me tell you. When people actually went looking in 3 of these 5 states, let's start with Akwa Ibom State. The trail there is clean. 4.142 billion naira was allocated specifically to Godswill Akpabio's own senatorial district, something meant for the state. The Northwest District of Akwa Ibom State named, is traceable, and it is confirmed. Now let's go to Kano. Only one project in the entire 2024 project could be clearly and specifically tied to Jubrin Barau's own Kano North Senatorial District. One project, 190 million naira for empowerment items for farmers. Everything else attributed to Kano State that year sat under vague description, unclear subheads, or location that could not be confirmed as I make this video. Now let's go to Abia. In May 2026, a civil tracking group named Mont ITNG flagged a 265.3 million project tied to Benjamin Kalu, captured in 2025 budget for a conference and e-learning facility at Bende Secondary Grammar School. Records show the money was paid out in December 2025 to a company named Mosaic Techno Company Limited. But when Trackers Field team visited the actual school, there was no facility there. The project, they say, had been relocated to a different community entirely along the Bende Ohafia Expressway with no visible construction, no workers on site, and the little structural work, note that existed, already being overtaken by bush. Kalu's office responded directly. A special advisor said lawmakers only facilitate projects through the budget process and do not supervise or execute the contract themselves. A youth group in Abia also came out in his defense. Trust us, we only have people doing that, calling the claims misleading and politically motivated, and pointing to other visible projects in his constituency. Now go to Ogun. In March 2025, a former governor of the state, Ibikunle Amosun, publicly accused Olamilekan Solomon of project diversion after a library project Solomon's office claimed credit for in Abeokuta was found with a signboard reading a completely different project name, one originally tied to a renovation Amosun himself had facilitated. Solomon's spokesman denied any diversion, saying the signboard wording did not change what was actually built. So, look at the pattern across 3 states. In one state, the money is traceable to the exact senatorial district, that is Akpabio. In a second state, almost none of it is traceable at all. In a third, a named project shows up on paper, gets paid out, and then cannot be found where it was supposed to be. In a fourth, two powerful men from the same state are publicly accusing each other over what a single signboard actually means. This is not an accusation that any law was broken. Zonal intervention projects are a legal part of how the National Assembly operates, and every allegation here has a name denier attached to it. But there is a difference between money reaching a state and money reaching the exact community it was written down for. Ogun leads the country in allocation in this particular issue. Its appropriation chairman leads the committee that decides how the money is shared in the first place. And when independent trackers went looking for the actual building in state after state, what they found ranged from clean and confirmed to vague and unconfirmed to misleading entirely. This is what people mean when they talk about structural capture. Not a bribe in an envelope, not one single court case, a system where the people writing the rules also happen to benefit most from them year after year, and where the gap between the amount announced and the project actually standing on the ground keeps showing up state after state, official after official. Nobody in this list has been convicted of a crime. This is simply what the money trail shows and does not show when you follow it from the budget documents to the ground. The facts are on the table. The pattern is the pattern, and what you call it is up to you. I am Patience Smith. The conclusion is yours. I am not asking you to agree with me. I am just asking you, please let us think. Let us see what is going on in this great country. Drop a comment if a school in Abia was promised a facility that was never built there. Who is supposed to answer for that? The lawmaker, the contractor, or the agency that released the money? Does your state make this list, and does it get left behind entirely? Share this video and tag somebody who needs to see it. I read every comment. I tell you the truth. I like every comment. So I'm waiting to hear from you. I've given you the facts, the information that I sourced, and are verifiable.